So this is, I'm going to try and give people the absolute best way to get from beginning to end to having a forward tested strategy and hopefully one that you've created that actually is profitable in the forward testing. And I'm going to try and do it in a way where you need to know the absolute least amount, but also on how you can be ready to know more when you need it, which is the trick with a system this big, is to have kind of two pictures of it. One, some detailed information on just the stuff you need right now. And the other is a bigger picture view so you know where to look when you need more information. So that's what I'm going to try and give you here. So the very first thing is if you want to just see getting up and running with like the basic signals and just making it work straight away, go to this thing here. This is in the list of resources in Discord. So you'll see it in here. It is user guide. It's going to be the first one in this user guide right here. And yeah, just go getting started. Look, 4 minutes, you're done. You've got something up and running. The next thing I'm going to suggest you do is just browse down through here through the sections and pick a couple, pick some things. These are just interesting things if you want to know where you can get stuck, don't need it. The overview, it's not bad. It's just going to go through all these sections. Basically, going to go through these sections in one group and gloss over them. If I was you, I'd watch the trading section. I'd watch the test window and I'd watch the exit. And I may not bother with any of the others, right? But I keep in mind that they all exist. I would kind of get a mental picture. These are just all the things you need with trading. And that would be all I would take out of this list. But I keep this like in a hot list of resources because consider this like a reference manual or a user guide. The next thing I would do is I would go over to the components, and the components is in that list as well. So just look for the word components here in your trading view. It's here. And I'd get an idea. I'd look at maybe this one here, and/or signal router, price latches, just to get a feel for what components do. Obviously, you can watch all of these if you want. It's not a lot of watching, but that's probably the most used one is and/or. So that's why I'd say go for that. That one's there more just because it's my favorite. But that'll give you some idea of some of the components. But I would just watch the and/or one if nothing else. Um, the the next thing, but what you want to do in line with this is you want to go to the spreadsheet. And where are my spreadsheets? Here we go. And you want to glance down through this list. Don't try and absorb it all. Just try and get a general idea of what's available so that when you come into a problem, you know, oh, I know there's a thing for that. Like, do I need to combine signals in a way of anding them or oring them or what have you? Okay, that's the one to use. Oh, I can delay things. So if I want a signal to come, 10 bars later, whatever, I can do it with one of these. I can detect changes in direction. Now, just get conceptually what's possible. If it's difficult, like this in-out range signal thing is actually fairly complicated. I'd probably just gloss over it, skip it, don't even bother trying. Just know there's a complicated thing there if you want to look at it one day. And just kind of glance down through all of these and just get, an idea what's available. There's another one that can get quite complicated when you look at it, but it kind of makes sense. Trail rules, you kind of get an idea. There's something there where you could control trails or something. You can set time ranges and things. So just conceptually, I mean, even if you wrote it down your own list, right? Conceptually, I can do things by time, I can do things by this, da 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 da, right? But having that mental model of the components that are available for you allows you to unlock all the power of this system. That's why this would be the next thing that this would be one of those things I would say is a must do. The other thing that you should keep in mind, and you won't be ready to use until you get to the forward testing stage, is this sheet has a little trick that is absolutely magic. And that is this column here. This number here, the percentage, is what confidence factor you want. And then This tells you how many trades given it picks up. You can always look at the formulas and spreadsheets so you can see for yourself, but it's actually using risk reward ratio. And I think it's win rate, not win rate margin. So it's using these two values to determine about how many trades you need before you can say, yes, this is validated and worth trading with a certain level of confidence. And so you can see I've got several sections down here. This is read only. This URL is in this list here. So if we go back to Discord, okay, where'd my Discord go? Hang on, it's disappeared on me. Okay, just click on it again, make it, there you go. Okay, so in here, forward testing management, that's here. It's read only, but you can make a copy of it and then you have your own copy. And this information in here, these links here, I dummied them up, so I sanitized it, but otherwise all this other information is real on all of these. So just the links are different because that's private information from people. So this is magic because they say, oh, wait 30 trades, wait 100 trades, wait whatever. But when you actually start forward testing, what you want is you want to know how many trades before something is worth saying this is a good system. Now, some of them aren't good enough. Like if you have something that's just marginally winning, this thing might turn around and say you need an enormous number of trades to prove it up. I didn't even bother to test these. I just put them in a different sheet called not good enough. There's others that are bad actors. You see these profits here, $370 million starting from, oh, what was it? I think the back testing was just let's see what I can tell you from the time frame. Okay, so it's a 5-minute time frame. So the back testing was probably, I don't know, 6 months or 3 months or something like that. And it's saying that and we always start from an average of $10,000. You can change that by it's just an arbitrary default. Anybody who can make $26 million from $10,000 starting point is, got magic dust. So I actually looked into what was going on, and in this particular study, one of the indicators was cheating. It was doing something akin to repainting, but actually worse. So this is, I just put it in a bad actor box. And then others either started showing winning after long-term testing, forward testing, or lost. So I took them out of candidates and I put them in winners and losers. And I know when to put them there because I know that the required number of trades have gone by. And that's what makes this magic, is because how many times you looked at a strategy and wondered, geez, is it ready to really try yet? So there's a formula here to give you, what you want. Now, if you want a higher confidence, you want to go scientific, you can go 95% confidence. Numbers will go up. 80 is probably better for a trader. But anyway, the idea is you can play with that. So this is your last phase before you actually want to start paper trading. And you could paper trade it while you're forward testing as well, but you could just sit there and build a bunch of these and let them forward test by themselves, and then paper trade is your next step. And obviously, once you've paper traded and proven it up, then you can live trade, assuming it's all the same. So this is something I keep in mind, that this exists, so that when you're ready to start forward testing something, it's there for you. And there is a video. I can't remember where the video is. It's going to be under here under test window. So this is the reason I mentioned, watch test window. It'll tell you about how to set up forward testing, which is a critical step that a lot of people forget about. These are all the quickie things. Now, if you want a comprehensive guide, comprehensive not in the sense that it encompasses everything, that would be too much. But comprehensive is in the sense that I took someone real who hadn't seen the system before and walked them through, and we got their first strategy in place in one session. That's where that's where you go to here, live Q&A. So this one's pretty long compared to the other stuff. That's why I showed the other stuff, because I'm trying to show you like the quickest path. But I highly recommend that after you've done the other things, because the other ones that I've shown you are pretty quick. And yeah, that's almost the end. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could tell you. Yes, the final one isn't in this list because it's not a list item. The final one is to contact me. If you're trying to do something you don't know how, contact me and say, hey, how do I do X? And if it's something simple, I'll just respond on Discord. If it's a little more complex and needs some thought time or whatever, I need a closer look at what you're using, then yeah, maybe we'll set up a video and that'll be another video we can put up that goes in our question and answer section list. So, oh yeah, I believe this actually goes to a um, playlist, not an actual individual video. And let's check that. But I think all of these go to playlists, and I think this one is included. But there's only two in here, if I remember correctly. Nope, that's either I copied it wrong or I'm missing it. So I'm just going to pause the video and figure this out. I literally copied the wrong link. I can't believe I did that. Okay, this should be the correct one. Yep, there we go. So you can see I've only got two in here that kind of do. And this dynamic trading, by the way, is an important one to look into. But yeah, this would be, like I said, you can see it's an hour and a half. Probably after the first hour, you would have seen enough. The only thing I'm going to say here that kind of goes a little bit against what's in this video is that I was working with BP Roberts, right? And of course, you know him. He's kind of pushes a little bit on the build all your indicators with AI. And he says it's quick for him. It's because he never bothered to learn the component system. It's actually quicker to build something with components. Um, Sometimes you have to go to AI because something you're using just doesn't give an output. And we talk about that in the video. But you really want to understand the component system because the whole idea is you've got things that have been written that work that you can click together with just, point and click done and have something up and running in no time. So, that's kind of the only thing where I'd go a little bit. No, you got to remember, he's got an agenda. He's building all these indicators and making a list of them available. So he wants to make his own indicators. I just want you guys to move as quickly and as flexibly as possible. And the less coding, the better. That's why I wrote this in the first place, so I didn't have to code. So anyway, I just want to give a caveat that that's one thing where him and I might disagree a little. But other than that, it's a great video, and I think that's about it. I think that's kind of the best I can do for you guys as a get going, our initial get going point. Hopefully this was helpful. Please make comments on this if you find it's not helpful or if I was missing something, or maybe you kind of start doing stuff and go, I wish he said X. Yeah, I need to know. I can always redo this and make it a little bit better with feedback. Thank you.